This week in movies, why is it so hard to make a live-action He-Man franchise? I just don't get it. Also, some high-profile movies get pushed back, and we have a new Francis Ford Coppola sci-fi movie, pretty interesting, and a little bit more, so let's get into that. Hello nerds! You have found the place for all of the nerdy movie updates worth talking about. More than just comic book movies, though that is a good chunk of what we cover here in the news. We get nerdy about all kinds of movies, as well as the art of making movies in general. If you like this kind of news reporting, then go check out the full show over on the main channel called The Week in Nerddom, where we talk about TV and comic books and gaming and rumors and etc., everything in between. You can find the link to that down in the description or at the end of this video. Now, let's hear about all that movie goodness, shall we? Coming out swinging, we got the big one first. He-Man is our follow-up and correction. We've talked about the fact that He-Man is getting a new live-action adaptation, but very little has been released up until now about what this live-action adaptation. So we now have a release date, June 5th of 2026. So hopefully that's a good sign that it's over a year away. But we have a synopsis from the production company, and this is where everything just totally gets blown to pieces. Let me read you the synopsis. Synopsis is: 10-year-old Prince Adam, who crashed to Earth in a spaceship and was separated from his magical power sword, the only link to his home on Eternia. After tracking it down almost 2 decades later, Prince Adam is whisked back across space to defend his home planet against the evil forces of Skeletor. But to defeat such a powerful villain, Prince Adam will first need to uncover the mysteries of his past and become He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Okay, so like some of that shows a modicum of potential. Emphasis on modicum. You know, He-Man has nothing to do with Earth. I think that's the biggest issue that we have right here. So a good portion of this movie, probably because it's cheaper to do it this way, a good portion of this movie is going to take place on Earth. We learned our lesson with the Dolph Lundgren movie, did we not? From the 80s. I think it was like 86 is when that movie came out. That movie was hot garbage because we went the cheap route. Like, yes, it's niche now and it's very underground popular and blah 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 blah. But by all metrics, even the people who love that movie acknowledge the fact that it is not good. So I don't like, where are we losing the plot here? I don't get it. Oh, yeah. So potentially they could do some reshoots between now and the June 5th of 2026 to make the emphasis on the Eternia portions and hopefully just completely ditch, if not for more than a scene, all of the Earth connections. I don't think that's gonna happen though, so if we get another update, then we will be talking about it. But from there, we have an update on the Tron Ares situation. The Jared Leto fronted movie also includes Cameron Monaghan, which I don't remember us going over that in a proper episode, but he was part of the cast list for this. So that's a little bit of an update. But the big one here is that Jeff Bridges has just announced that he is also going to be part of the cast for this third Tron movie. So Tron Ares going to also include Jeff Bridges as part of the grid, probably going to play Tron. I don't know that he's going to play, I can't remember the name of his human character, but he was also Tron, so kind of stands to reason he's got to be in the movie that bears the name of the character he played, right? Anyway, so pretty cool. Gonna dig it. Then let's get to, these are our movies that got bumped. Follow-ups here is Kraven the Hunter and The Crow. Both of these movies have been pushed back. So Kraven the Hunter was set to be released this December 13th, has now been pushed back to August 30th. And then The Crow was set to be released August 23rd and is now coming out June 7th. So a little bit of shuffling around in the Hollywood sphere. Kind of to be expected, especially when The Crow released to such mixed reviews as far as the trailers and such go. And then we have one last follow-up. We now have official confirmation that Giancarlo Esposito has been cast in some mysterious role in the MCU. He himself has made it known that he is part of the MCU now, though he has not said as to who. In the interview where he talked about it at CCXP in Mexico last week, the words that he uses, we're going to be seeing him in an MCU movie sooner rather than later. So that would imply, very probably, that he's not going to be playing Professor X, because that would be a little bit later rather than sooner, because we have nothing on the immediate schedule that is going to be X-Men related. And anything that is on the projected schedule, I think, is liable to be moved back, though I'm a little rusty on the projected schedule right now. So either way, Giancarlo Esposito very probably not playing Professor Xavier, but has been cast for something in the MCU. That's our follow-up. Let's move over to trailers. This one actually kind of caught my interest. This came just from the YouTube algorithm, was suggested to me that way. Yeah, super stoked that YouTube understands me to that degree, but we have Megalopolis is the trailer that we're talking about. This is a new movie from Francis Ford Coppola. Francis Ford Coppola, obviously Godfather, right? You're aware of this. It's a new science fiction movie starring Adam Driver that has something to do with time manipulation, if not straight up time travel as well. I'm intrigued. Francis Ford Coppola, kind of always a win. Then you have Adam Driver, kind of always a win. Yeah, this is just adding up to be something fantastic. So go check out the trailer, get hype with me. Let's talk about that down in the comment section, because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I missed something that isn't hype about this, but I don't think that's the case. That is our one trailer. We have no regular ass news, so let's talk about our movie suggestion this week. Our movie suggestion is a classic when it comes to nerd movies, and that is The Matrix. Just the OG Matrix, man. It's available right now on Netflix. It might also be available on Max at the same time. I don't remember seeing it on both, but I just watched it last night on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's still on Max as well. But yeah, Matrix, OG Matrix, even though it's the remastered version that's up on Netflix that has the wrong color grade, so everything's that really annoying green instead of being the blue that it was originally. It's a whole other video that plenty of other people have already made, but it's still great. It's still a classic for plenty of reasons. Go watch The Matrix this week. That is your movie suggestion to take home. That brings us to the end of the video, nerds. Thank you very much for joining me for the news. Once again, there is a full and probably much more up-to-date and recent episode of the news, the full-length version, if you will, called The Week in Nerddom over on the main channel, linked down in the description, and probably link popping up somewhere around my face right about now. So click on that, go check that out as well, or if you prefer your news in more truncated pieces, then by all means just stick around here and go check out some of the other stuff we offer on this channel. Thank you very much for joining me. We will see you in the next one. Before we go, always remember, nerds, that if it is generally nerdy, it's probably here.